Hello everyone, welcome back. Alright, let's take a look at this problem here. I understand some of these can be confusing a bit, so that's why we need to take the time to read them at least 3 times. Read them once to get an idea of what the problem is about, read them the second time and underline the important information, and then the third time you're writing your equations with that information you underlined. So let's take a look here. We have your uncle's farmyard appears to be overrun with dogs and chickens. You asked him how many of each he had. He responded that his dogs and chickens had a total of 148 legs and 60 heads. How many dogs and how many chickens does your uncle have? All right. First of all, I don't know why he would answer the question that way, but let's just say he's trying to be funny. Not a problem, because we're smart. We can figure this out. So let's take a look here. Let's get a color. What color should we use? Rainbow. How about that? All right. So we have an idea of, we're trying to find how many dogs and chickens he has in a farm. So he has 140. They have 148 legs altogether. They have 148 legs, and they have 60 heads. Well, let's do the 60 heads first, because that's pretty simple. Because that means that all the dogs plus all the chickens will equal 60 heads. So there's our first equation. Let's look at the second one here, where they all together have 148 legs. Well, the question is, if I'm talking about dogs, how many legs did they have? They have 2. So that would be 2D. Plus the chickens. And I just messed that up, right? Because dogs do not have 2 legs. All right, no problem. Let's go right back to that. They have 4 legs. Thank you. And chickens, they have 2 legs. So it would be 2C. Now, how many legs in all? He said 148. All right, so I have both of my equations here. Now that I have both equations, now I can begin to solve this. So let's start here. What I'm going to do is take the first equation and I'm going to solve for one of them. You can solve for either one, the dogs or the cats. That means get that variable by itself so that I can use substitution and plug it in to one of these. So since I have the D here first for dogs, I'm going to solve for dogs, which means I'm going to move that C over to the other side by subtracting it from both sides. It will look like this. So let's see. Dogs equals 60 minus C, right? Because we're going to subtract C from both sides. This gets rid of it here, creating a 0 there, which is why I have this creates a 0, which means that it leaves my variable D by itself. Now I can get the value of D, which is 60 minus C, and I can plug that in. So I can take it and plug it in here, since that's the value. It will look like this. 4 times 60 minus C plus 2C equals 148. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, at this point, I'm going to begin by using the distributive property and multiplying what's inside the parentheses by 4. So 4 times 60 is 240. 4 times negative C is just negative 4C plus 2C equals 148. Let's move that up a bit. Then we're going to take the 2 C's here, the negative 4 and the negative 2, and we're going to combine those together, giving me a negative 2C. And I'm going to take the 240, I'm going to subtract it from both sides. So that's going to get me on this side. So negative 2C, let me rewrite it over here. It's a little too close there. So negative 2C equals, this would equal 92. Oops, what happened to my pencil? There we go. Okay. Sometimes these things don't want to work. All right. So last step, divide both sides by, oh, that's a negative number. Don't forget, because we took 148 and subtracted more than what we had. That gives me a negative number. But that's okay, because we're going to subtract both sides, divide both sides by a -2, giving us C equals 92 divided by 2. And I'm going to use my calculator here to give me 46. Positive. Negative divided by a negative equals a positive. So that gives me this. What does that mean? That means that he has 46 chickens, right? My chickens here equal 46. Well, simply, I know that he has 60 animals in all. To get the other value of how many dogs he has, all I have to do is take the number of total animals, subtract the number of chickens, and it's going to give me how many dogs he has. So dogs, he would have 14. So this is our final answer here. Now, typically, instead of just doing it the simple way, the way I did it here, these were simple numbers. That's why I was able to do that. But remember, always take your value and plug it into the equation. So I would have taken this 46 and plugged it into my equation here for C, because that's the value of C, and it would have got me that same answer. All right, so hopefully that helps you understand that problem. Good luck, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.